air-conditioned cinema, cool like an Egyptian tomb. A beam of light projects a movie. I sit in the audience watching a retrospective screening of Matt Damon's career. I let the hours melt through the day. As film after film is shown, I ask myself, who is Matt Damon? What are the ingredients of his blockbuster persona? His all-American charm conceals something secret, something sinister. Here is a man with no distinguishing physical traits, built out of square shapes, down to earth, yet not exactly warm, distant even. A single arched right eyebrow betrays an intelligence working at reptilian velocity. All of this is Matt Damon, a chameleon who has no problem with pretending to be somebody else. In Good Will Hunting, he plays a math genius pretending to be a janitor. In The Departed, a gangster pretending to be a cop. In The Talented Mr. Ripley, he makes friends with Jude Law's character, then kills him and steals his identity. In Gary, or Jerry, by Gus Van Sant, it's more experimental and open to interpretation, but the plot is essentially the same. The most disquieting through line for all of his characters is that he is adept at this, exhibiting an ease with being someone he is not. Indeed, he is most at home when he is not himself. The next film that's being shown is We Bought a Zoo. It seems to be about a guy who decides to buy a zoo and uproots his whole family to live there. Obviously the result of an identity crisis. I've been in here too long. I must leave. In a crouched position, I hustle along to the exit. I lean on the push-action doors, letting in a burst of summer air. Bloodshot eyes narrow defensively. I turn off airplane mode and walk briskly along the street. My tendency after watching a charismatic male star in a film is to imitate him, his way of being. My speech, my gestures, the cadence of my breath. I'll change it to emulate the successful male behavior I've just witnessed on a big canvas. But what of Matt Damon's behavior is there to emulate? I cut through the world, eyes darting around, a fugitive from myself. I listen to a voicemail from her with one earbud in my right ear. I imagine that I am a secret agent. When he isn't playing a character who is distant or absent in a figurative sense, he is literally far away from us in roles like Private Ryan in Saving Private Ryan, or that stranded astronaut in The Martian. The world is hard and angular. I smoke a joint to smooth the edges. In The Bourne Identity, Matt Damon plays a man who has lost his identity. He has amnesia, inexplicable situational awareness, and confounding combat skills. After being pulled out of the Mediterranean by fishermen, he travels to Zurich to retrieve the contents of a safety deposit box that promises to give him clues to his identity. And in a sense, it does. He discovers an American passport, revealing to him that his name is Jason Bourne. But he finds another passport, and another. He is not only Jason Bourne, but also Paul K. Joie du Carmo, Pourmakiniev, John Michael Caine. His hands frantically sift through the deposit box, searching for definitive answers, but there are only more questions. Who are you, Matt Damon? What is your oeuvre telling me? Is this a portrait of the modern American male? Or am I projecting my own fantasy on him? After all, what are movie stars for? I descend through the bowels of the shopping galleria and walk across the underground parking lot, taking the long way towards my car.